Hey guys, says we're live. Hopefully we are.
Hopefully.
Hopefully we're live. So we had a glitch with the Rumble Studio, so we had to quickly switch over to the YouTube live platform. Hopefully you guys are going to find us.
And I'm just trying to post about that. So hopefully somebody will see it and transfer over.
Yeah, so nobody's here just yet, so we're just going to take a few minutes to let people know that we're waiting on the other platforms, that we won't be there because we can't get it to work. So, okay. Just peeking up, make sure nobody was waiting for us.
So if you're watching this on replay, you just want to skip ahead a little.
Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. I'm not even sure what happened. All right.
There we go.
Okay, so it is what it is, I guess. A little disappointing. We were trying to stream on 3 platforms today, and the studio actually kept telling us that it was failing. So we've been using the last few weeks Rumble Studio, which I like, but for some reason Rumble kept failing when it tried to connect to Rumble. But it has to have Rumble working in order to
It was
be successful.
Stream,
so, hi John, how are you doing?
John.
Can you hear us okay, John? I'm just curious.
Thanks for joining us over on this stream.
Yes, thank you for finding us. We had an issue.
We always have an issue.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, we're a little, I don't know, maybe Cindy's getting old or something.
Yeah, I hate technology.
So
the more we try to do, the less it lets us do.
I'm just going to quickly cancel our live on Rumble because that just obviously did not work. And so I was going to delete that.
How's the time change treating you, John? And anyone else who may be watching? Hasn't been terrible today. Usually I really hate the time change. Hasn't been too bad.
No, I think the kids were still up pretty early this morning, but yeah, it messes up the system, doesn't it?
What I like right now is that it feels like it's still early in the day, so it's a nice feeling, but when you realize it's not as early as you feel it is, that's not such a nice feeling. It would be nice if they just did away with it altogether.
Well, it's definitely a nicer day here, so I have to assume it's pretty nice where you're at, John, because we were able to get our barrels back out and set up for the rain catching rain, I guess I should say.
Yeah, that's exciting because it really is annoying to have to go run and get water from the tap, especially when the outdoor tap doesn't work.
Well, it's working right now.
Yeah, some days it works, some days it doesn't.
So we have 10 barrels we set up around the property just to catch rain, and that's all back up and going again.
You're the one who converts this for me. John says it's in the 60s. I don't know what that is.
60s? I think 70s around 20, so it sounds pretty nice.
Yeah.
We got a couple days coming up that are supposed to be pretty warm. We still got a few nights that are cooling down, but I think at some point in the next 2 weeks, we're supposed to hit almost 20 degrees Celsius, which I think is around 70 Fahrenheit, somewhere in that neck of the woods. So, yeah.
It was nice today. I actually commented, I stepped out of the garage and I came back in to tell Bert, I'm like, I stepped out of the garage and it's actually warmer outside. So that was new. That was a nice feeling.
Yeah, unfortunately, I wanted to pin your comments up, John, but I can't. I guess I can't do it on this this platform. So that was the first big blip we've had with that Rumble Studio, though. I don't know. The last week we had the blip, but that was my foot hitting the power cord. That was a whole nother bad experience. But
maybe we'll have to try and see if we can test it out ahead of time privately.
yeah, because the plan this time was actually to broadcast to Rumble, YouTube, and I had set up the link to go to our Facebook page. And the only one I was quickly able to get back up and going here real quick was the YouTube. But so maybe next time I'll get the three of them to work. I guess if you don't want to pay for something, you kind of you go with the flow. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But
for sure. And I see some people have found us, so that's
yes.
awesome.
Hi, Robbie.
Hi, Robbie. How are you doing?
Thanks for coming around. We were just talking to John, and we had some issues with our studio. Tried to use that Rumble Studio, and we were going to broadcast to Facebook at the same time, as well as YouTube and Rumble. And for some reason, it would not connect to Rumble this time, which is haven't had that experience. It's their own platform, so I don't know why that would be, but
yeah, and
had to scramble.
We see you can't be listening constantly, so we won't put you on the spot with questions.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're not supposed to be on at all.
Well, it depends what he's doing.
Yeah, but thank you very much for tuning in.
Yeah.
A much better. Oh, I just looked over at the cameras. I see the circulator egg now.
Oh, okay.
Let me go back out.
So, John, you've got 2 barrels on the go. That's always handy. We don't use all of ours for the animals. It usually ends up being garden stuff.
Yeah, especially when it gets real hot.
Yeah,
and
it's nice to have anyway.
Yeah,
it's more
better
to have them in different locations.
Yeah, it's better than paying for it, right? So, so I don't know what everybody else got up to this past week, but we had a few things on the go. One thing, last Sunday we told you guys that we had ordered some poultry, and we were contacted the other day. They're still coming at this point, but they are going to be 2 weeks later, just because our turkeys won't be ready. And we're crossing our fingers that we still get them, because the only issue is that with the aviary bird flu, whatever, avian, there's the word I wasn't getting. With that bird flu, it's only about, they've got a map that the government has out, and anybody within an area that's been an outbreak, or maybe they go by what they found in the wild birds too, I'm not sure, but it's actually only about a country block away from us. So if it happens to move this way, and we fall into that gray zone, they'll actually cancel our order on us, and won't let us order any chickens in. So hopefully that doesn't happen, because as we talked about before, we can't hatch them this year. We just don't have the rooster unless we scramble to find one. Apologize for the brightness behind us. We thought we'd come in here and use the desktop computer, because we have a better connection. But we don't have a curtain to cover that big bay window. We might have to look at that now that the season's changing and it's getting nicer and the sun's shining. And
right, so it's not like last week, because we're an hour difference. And
you're right. That's the other thing. It's normally a different time of day, I guess. So that explains that. But what else happened this week?
Well, Bert mentioned it on his video that he put out yesterday.
Yes, go back and watch the video, guys.
But we have sold Molly, our Nigerian dwarf goat, the mother of the 2 that we still have. And she went to a nice new home to keep company to another billy goat. Yeah.
So we still have the 2 girls, the 2 daughters, Peaches and Boots. For what it costs to feed them, we might just keep them around as pets, just in case Sydney changes their mind at some point.
They are sweet.
We're still talking about maybe getting a meat goat or something like that as well.
Are we?
Yeah, we are. I'm talking about it. It'd be nice just to have another source of red meat on the property, because we have no problem, poultry coming out of our ears, but other than rabbits, but even that's really a white meat, right? So it's nice to have something else if we can. Maybe.
Yeah. But goats and lamb, they just have soulful eyes.
Don't
Not
look in
the
their
same
eyes.
as a bird.
Don't look in their eyes. Don't fall for it.
Okay, speaking of birds, you had some happy news this morning.
Oh, yes. So we, I think if you guys have been following, you know that I've been waiting for the geese to start laying eggs and trying to figure out what do we have, males, females, or whatever, because I can't tell them apart. And so the last couple of days I was getting one. The first time I got one, then there was a pause. The next day I got another one, and I've been watching where there was forming of nests inside of each of those hutches. There's 2 calf hutches out front. So the one calf hutch I've been finding the eggs in. So this morning I go out and I went in there and I found the egg in the area that she's been laying. And I thought, okay. And I went to check the other calf hutch, and I've been checking these every day, so I know it wasn't there. And the other kind of formed nest also had an egg in it. So we do have 2 females for sure. And I think that's probably right, because just judging by how they act, their behavior of the birds, because I'm pretty sure it's the males that are starting to come darting across the yard to chase me, which I tried to catch in the video yesterday, but they made a liar out of me. But anyway, there's definitely 2 that are more passive, not so aggressive, and I know one of them's for sure is the female. The other one, I can't quite pick her out yet from the group, so I'm not sure. But just by her behavior, I think I know which one it is. But once we know 100%, once they're actually nesting, then I'm going to take an opportunity at some point to band the geese colors so I know what's what.
Yeah. So now we have 4 goose eggs set aside for the incubator. And I don't know if you'll continue taking from them to incubate, but
I think for a bit longer, because we still have some cold nights coming. And
I think they can lay up to 25 eggs in a season, but not if they get a clutch and decide to stop.
Yeah, that's the other thing. They may just get a handful of eggs and decide they're done. So my hope is that maybe if I get 8 or 10 to try, I've got one that probably won't hatch already, because the very first one that I found, it was after a very cold night and the egg cracked. So I did do a wax coating over the crack. It was a fine crack. I did a wax coating over it, hoping that maybe it'll still be viable, because I've read different things. Some say yes, some say no. So I figure it's worth a shot. I'll just have to make sure my nose is keen and I'm sniffing the incubator so it doesn't blow up on me.
Yeah.
So I just want to check here. Rob, you had said something here. So we were having a meeting about VBX.
A vacation Bible school for special needs folks.
Excellent.
Very nice.
Very good. Yeah, it's good to be active in that kind of stuff for sure. So
a note on eggs, if I may.
Oh yeah.
We also have a Polish egg. First Polish egg we've gotten.
So the Polish chickens are starting to lay. They finally, this was a hatch from last spring.
And it's okay that it took this long, because it has been cold. So.
Yeah, that is the thing. You can't expect them to lay in the really chilly weather. I mean, it's different with the chickens we have, because their coops are kind of set up for it. I don't have even our rollout boxes. I know some people always say to me when they watch our videos, why do you roll into your coop? Why aren't you rolling out? And the reason is because we have such cold winters. If it rolls out, it's like traveling into a freezer. So it just doesn't work for us.
Yeah. So one of our Polish hens are laying, but we do have 2. So hopefully soon we'll be able to incubate some of those as well.
Gather a few up and hopefully sell some of those off. We've sold a few sulkies, but I think we may have missed the peak.
We sold a few. We have an order for some coming up, so some people want them at specific times.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
We had a lot of interest a couple of weeks ago, but now I think what's happened is there's a lot more of them for sale out there on the market. So may have missed the opportunity, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Speaking of eggs too, not to interrupt, but we did go into Walmart today, and just we don't buy eggs, but we were just kind of curious, and I did notice they had them out like they were a sale or a special deal, but they were like $3.93, and I know that is still cheap for some people right now. Hi, Noble. Thanks for coming by, and hopefully you're able to find us. Everything got kind of messed up. We were supposed to be doing a big broadcast, but the studio failed, and we had to scramble to get on the YouTube live studio. So $3.93 is what the price is in Walmart for a dozen large eggs, which
not bad, but it's
not bad, but it's definitely gone up here too. So we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, because I know I looked it up a few weeks ago on a live, and it was like
$3.23 or something like that. So it was quite a change quickly. So yeah, so that was that. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, not interrupting at all. The chickens are laying better. We're getting over 20 a day now.
Yeah, it's starting to pick up. So
yeah, at peak we were getting about 40 some a day.
Mm-hmm.
But when it was at its lowest, we were getting like 7. So 20 is good for coming into spring.
Yeah, hopefully we keep an account of all our expenses, and right now I think we're negative $1,000 for the year.
Yeah, but we made a big purchase recently.
Nothing on
the
that.
Birds.
No, I haven't paid for those yet.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Once that happens, woohoo. Anyway, it'll take us a few months to recoup the cost of the feed over the winter and things like that. But it's just we just keep it as a way for us to know if we're losing money or not. But ate something for a dozen.
Oh, that's painful.
Wow, that is so hard to believe. I hope that's not coming for us. I mean, because I have to assume that and maybe you guys can correct me, but does that mean like chicken layer feed and stuff like that is going up in those areas as well? Because otherwise it's good for the guys selling eggs at the road, I suppose, because as long as your cost isn't going up to raise the birds. But that's just crazy. I don't understand.
Yeah, eggs are supposed to be a cheap meal.
Yeah, whatever happened to
Not
that? Yeah, so much for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
I mean, it's still cheaper than going out and paying for breakfast at a restaurant, but it's crazy.
Yeah, because I think the restaurants are charging more just to cover the cost, right? So
sure. Well, we also had happy news with our rabbits this week.
Yes, we have a litter. Kind of did a little
Doesn't seem like a big deal, but
no, we had some trouble over the winter. For us, we never experienced this before, but we were losing back-to-back litters. I don't know what was happening. The only thing I've done differently is we did end up going to a different feed because our local, I want to say Tractor Supply, just so you guys know what I'm talking about, but it's PB Mart, but it was Tractor Supply in Canada at the time. Anyway, we were using their Rolling Acres feed, and all of a sudden we were losing, kits, like total litters of kits, and for a few months we couldn't seem to have any luck that way. But we've gone to a different feed mill, and we're on different feed, so it's either the feed that's changed, or the other thing we've done is we've started leaving lights on just to give them some sort of sense of spring and things like that. So
yeah,
it had to be one or the other, because that's the only thing that's really changed here. So
it was something to celebrate.
Yeah, a new life, new food.
About $6 where you are, John. That's still a lot. I mean, it's less, but it's still.
Duncan Family Farm, hello.
Hi, guys.
Thank you for coming in. Really do appreciate when everybody makes the time to drop in.
And the time change, because everyone's off a little.
Oh, yeah.
How many people think it's like
right?
3?
Yeah, that's at least we do get a little more light in the evening. I mean, there's got to be some positive to this, change the clocks thing, and you get something out of it, I guess.
For sure. I don't find it that bad this time around. I don't know why. Normally it's just
I will probably
day.
notice it more next week when I'm working well into the evening, because I'll probably be working until about 2 a.m. most of the week.
Yeah.
Which means it's gonna feel late. So I know we've been going through our list pretty quick, but the next thing I see that we had taken some notes today just so I didn't just spend the whole time rambling. As we all know I'm good at it.
We always think, what did we do this week? This time we actually did a few things, or had a few things happen. Well, my peppers have started to sprout, just the jalapenos, but if I remember correctly, last year jalapenos came up first, so I'm still hopeful for the rest. I'm not sure about my banana peppers. They failed last year, so I'm trying them again.
Did they? I can't remember.
But the bell peppers should be coming up, and we'll see. Signs of spring.
Yeah, and you're starting
Tomatoes soon. I want to do quite a few, maybe have some for sale once they're, nice plants. But soon, this month, has to be this month, earlier this month.
No, we're just getting to ours, but Cindy actually has a friend who was already repotting hers.
Yep.
Yeah, like.
So I feel like I'm really behind.
Yeah, it's a different year this year. Like last year, we actually got started in our garden a whole month early. Yeah. Because the weather was just so different.
Yeah, we were planting end of April, and normally it's end of May.
This year, I don't see that happening. Maybe it'll turn around real quick, but we've had a much harder winter than we've had in quite a few years. So.
But it's coming. Spring's coming.
It's in the air.
Very soon. I'm excited. All right, the last thing on my notes is we're going to do some building this spring or something.
Oh, yes. So where the billy goat was, my plan right now is that, and you'll see it in future videos, my plan is to make a second aviary. We have the one that we keep the silkies and the pheasants in, and I think I'm going to enclose, at least partially enclose the area that the billy goat was in, and I'm going to use that for the turkeys when they come.
Maybe it could be like a half and half for turkeys and the Polish.
I think the turkeys will probably need the space.
Maybe. The Polish are in a large dog run right now.
Yeah, we're going to eventually need that room too. So just to put our new chicks when they come.
Yeah.
Hopefully they come. Still crossing our fingers. We have to get through almost 5 weeks before they show up.
I kind of feel like they're just throwing darts at a wall to decide what the gray zone's going to be.
Do you guys have that issue where you're at? Like, is that something that if there's an outbreak in your area, do they stop you from having or getting birds, or how does that work where you live? Just kind of throw the question out there just to see if anybody knows. I don't like here, like I said, you just can't they can't ship you your birds if you're in certain areas.
I haven't heard about anybody having to kill their birds.
No, not locally.
Like locally, yeah. Bigger farms like out in BC, the ostrich farm and other stuff like that, yes, but
yeah.
Hopefully.
All right, so we've run down our list already. We still have a half hour to go. Uh-oh. You're up.
Oh, yeah, right.
Make sure we're caught up on all the chat here. I'm still all kind of flustered after the whole... Nothing that you've heard about it, John.
Well, yeah, that's good.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, that would be very frustrating to get up to, right delivery time for the chicks and be told if you can't get them.
I can't imagine that happening. I actually know somebody who recently got chicks. They just live in a small village, maybe 20 minutes from here. And they had ordered, I want to say 10 hens to add to their little flock. And Money Pit Homestead, Donald and Lisa, how are you doing?
Hi, guys.
So they had ordered these hens for their flock, and they were supposed to pick them up. And the day before, they get a phone call saying, your order's been canceled. You're in this gray zone where there's been an outbreak. And they sent them a link for this map, this government map, and they actually forwarded this map to me. That's how I know where this current stance is for everything. And So they call the store back and say, hey, what do you mean? What do you mean we're in this gray zone and we're actually in this little white square, which happens to be, it's like
Surrounded by gray.
it's like this huge cloud on the map of this gray blocked out area, and right where they live is this little square of white somehow. So I don't know how this could be, but somehow they're in a clean, we'll call it a clean spot, and they end up getting the birds, but they had to pick them up outside of the area that that the issue was in. So some of the hatcheries aren't taking orders this year. Really? How do they survive? Or do they only deal with commercial, maybe in that situation?
Yeah, that's their whole business, right?
Yeah, that's got to be pretty devastating for some of these places. But
yeah, I wonder what would happen if the hatchery becomes a gray zone that we ordered from.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that would work. But let's just hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
I want my turkeys.
We didn't want to put our order off 2 weeks, but because we couldn't get the turkeys when we had scheduled and had to wait 2 weeks for them, the whole thing had to be transferred, correct?
Probably just to larger operations. That's what I'm thinking too, John, because they have to make something, right? You got to be, can't expect them to pay their bills if they can't sell their product. But yeah, I'm looking forward. We've never had turkeys. My parents had turkeys when I was younger, and
He's been talking about it for a while.
We've never had them here, so I'm looking forward to having an alternative source of meat. That's part of the reason I'm so excited this year about having the eggs showing up with the geese. Even though I'm just hoping they're fertile. I mean, I've seen some attempts out there, but I haven't seen anything that looked like a sure success. So, and from what I've read and seen, I guess it's better if they have a pond or something like that for when they're mating. So,
which happens some days.
Yeah, I guess I could get the pool out.
When we get a lot of rain, it does become a pond out
Our
there.
front yard. That's part of the reasons I chose it for the geese, is it gets so wet. You're not ordering chicks this year, Robbie. We're getting a friend to hatch some of his eggs and some of ours. Yeah, you know what? That's typically that's all we do too.
Yeah, we're just trying new stuff this year.
Yeah, since we're in the situation we're in, we decided that we would try a few different breeds and choosing from what we had offered to us. I was looking to see. I can't think of the name now, but John has a particular breed that looked really promising as well, but wasn't an option for us to order here. So, but there are a couple that look like they're pretty aggressive layers, and I'm looking forward to trying that.
I'm glad you said layers. I hear the word aggressive and birds. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
No, the only ones we can hatch ourselves are silky,
Polish or American breast this year.
Not great big eggs or anything.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll sell some of those off and we'll have extras left over. But
yeah. So we're gonna try pheasant soon, I think, because I have a feeling they're gonna start fighting because there is only the one hen with them. And crazy as it is, numerous times now I've seen the one of the male pheasants. Maybe it's more than one, but at least one. We have three. I've seen them actually breeding the silky hen. I guess when the options are kind of limited, they look outside the box, so to speak. But now, as far as I understand, when I look online, you won't actually get a fertile bird from that. But
everything we've hatched so far has been silky.
Yeah. Well, except for the polkies, yeah. But yeah, just making sure I didn't miss any comments because I'm not used to this format anymore.
Yeah, hopefully we can go back to the other one next week.
Yeah, because the fact that I can't even click on a person's.
It's nice to be able to highlight it and put it on the screen.
Yeah, I guess that's what I was trying to say. Yeah, can't even highlight anything. anyway,
Do you know what kind of turkeys you got?
yeah, bronze turkey. What's the first name? I can't think of the name. Oh, wait a minute. I can tell you. Orlop bronze turkeys.
Okay.
So the hope is with those, we get at least, we were 4, so I'm hoping there's at least 1 hen in there. Because like everything else, if we're going to buy it, I want to buy it once, and then hopefully it self-sustains and just becomes a renewable source of food for the freezer.
And those were supposed to be really good layers, those and the white ones.
Yeah, good layers, and it's supposed to be a what do they say, a gamey kind of meat.
Yeah. And they said that as a good thing. So
Yeah, more flavor, I'm guessing.
Apparently quail is supposed to be somewhat gamey as well, but
Which is good.
Like
Our kids love quail.
Yeah.
So do we, but the kids, I prefer it over rabbit or chicken. So for myself, I like it, but I prefer the rabbit, I think.
So we'll be putting some quail eggs in the incubator soon too, maybe today.
Yeah, Robbie, it was so frustrating. It just kept failing. I have no idea what happened because I had set everything up yesterday because you have to wait. The only thing with Rumble Studio that I don't like is you have 24 hours prior to when you're going to be live. That's the earliest that you can do the schedule. And the only thing I did different this week was set up to broadcast to our Facebook page as well, but it wasn't failing on that. It was just failing on Rumble. But once it failed on Rumble, I guess since it won't broadcast there, it wouldn't let us on anything else either. So I'm gonna have to do a little private. I think I can set up a private live and see if I can troubleshoot it, because I really don't want to have to pay for a program to do it. I mean, it's different if you have a large channel and you're making money, but for somebody like us, the added expense just seems silly. So
Yeah, and there are free options. They're not our favorite, but
no, I even for a second in my haste to try to get everything going, I thought, well, I could just set up 2 cameras and 2 computers, but that just that would be a bit much. But
has anyone else tried the Rumble streaming service?
yeah, up until today, we've really been happy with it.
Mm-hmm. We've used it 3 times or so.
Yeah, I think last week, as you guys know, we had the mishap where my foot unplugged the computer. That was a bit of a fiasco, but
yeah, I still don't know what got streamed. Hi, entire family bar.
Hi, Jack. How are you? Yeah, so I was quite surprised when that happened. That wasn't good.
Yeah, we were like,
Yeah.
just saw the Rumble symbol, and I guess those people who were watching on Rumble could still see the stream.
I don't think so. I think
No?
I think when it kicked out, everything kicked out. That was
Really?
bad.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, that's probably a good thing.
Yeah, because it was just chaos.
Yeah.
A whole lot of confusion. So, Jack, did you buy anything at the auction? I saw you were there. What was it, yesterday morning or yesterday sometime? I tuned in and you were live auction somewhere, I believe.
Those are fun.
Yeah. We haven't gotten to go to any because there's nothing real close to us. And they tend to fall during the work week around here. I don't know if that's the same for you guys, but I'd love to go and check one out, see what we can see. But
it's been quite a few years since we've gone.
Yeah, quite a few years. Yeah. I feel like I need to move over and block some of that light. Oh, no, I'm just hogging the screen.
But if you take me to an animal auction, we might come home with something.
More chickens, I'm sure. That's from me.
Oh.
I don't know what you might come home with a goat.
I like things that are fuzzy. Feathered it serves its purpose, but
Cindy has no use for any birds.
well, no, I have a use for them. Eggs are useful.
Yeah.
Chicken meat is good.
Yeah. This will be the first year, actually. I think we mentioned this before, but this is going to be our first year, assuming the birds show up. We're praying they do. But this will be the first time we're going to have broiler chickens
I'm excited for that.
on our property, because we've always just did the dual purpose, sent the males to freezer camp, and that's how we've had them.
Mm-hmm.
MB Heritage Farms, hello. Thank you for coming in.
For sure.
Really appreciate everybody taking the time, because I know if your weather is like ours, it's actually quite nice out today, which is our 14-day forecast shows us only maybe a couple days where we're actually below freezing again, which is a really, really welcome to change. Of course, now the mud is starting to show up.
I know that's when you kind of miss the snow to clean off your boots, but
Yeah,
at the same time, this weather gives us hope.
Yeah, and we were saying earlier, we put out our 10 rain barrels today. So we got them in place. So now if we do get a freeze, it won't be a real solid freeze. So should be fairly safe. I guess we're just trying to, give ourselves some sense of spring in the air.
Yeah, it's been a long winter.
Yeah, this one has been hard. Yeah, much harder.
We got spoiled.
We did. We had quite a few years where we didn't get a lot of snow. We get cold, but not a lot of snow. This year was it had the snowblower quit on me, I think I would have been in tears. It would have been pretty bad. But it was like we were saying, we even had to make paths around the property with the snowblower just to get the stuff right. So it's a big difference.
For sure. Let's see. Lisa and Donald, we raised a handful of turkeys years ago. Didn't grow them out long enough. They were still tasty.
Yeah.
To know. Probably more tender that way.
Yeah. And that's my hope. This year, when these turkeys do show up, once I can differentiate male, female, etc., I'll keep one pair. I mean, unless I happen to get lucky and we get 2 pairs out of the 4 that we ordered.
Or if you have more than one female.
Yeah, or a trio. I guess a trio would be fine too. Yeah. And so hopefully we can maybe at least get 1 bird in the freezer this year, and then multiply. Use them to give us a source next year.
Right, and that's the plan for the pheasants, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
We have too many males, and
we wanted
geese we're gonna try out.
Yeah, the geese. It looks like for sure. We have 2. Like I said, we have 2 females for sure. Which means if we don't find another goose laying eggs this year, that means we have 3 males. So I think in that situation, I should be safe to get rid of, if not 1, 2, and just have a trio.
Right, but didn't you say the geese pair off?
I think they can. Maybe you guys know. Are you better off keeping 2 males, 2 females for geese, or is it a trio good? 50 degrees sounds pretty good, Robbie. Today we're 10 degrees Celsius, which for us actually, feels decent. With jacket weather, I was tempted to go with just my shirt on, but that's the kind of stuff that makes you sick. But yeah, it's so nice to have that change in the air.
But that north wind does make a difference for sure.
Well, it sure does. When we get a north wind here, you really notice it. The whole house cools down.
We were talking about the geese pairing off.
Yeah, just curious if anybody knows that. Same with the turkeys. I don't know if I should keep 1 male or 2 if we happen to get the option.
I just hate to lose.
That's my only fear. That's why we kept the pheasants, because when we got the 4 pheasants when they were chicks, obviously unsexed, and we ended up with 3 males and a female. My big fear was if we were to get rid of the 2 males and all of a sudden the one dies or something happens to it, then we don't have the ability to
like the bird rock roosters we had too, but
yeah, still. Exactly. It's kind of, if it's going to happen, I feel like it's going to happen to us. So I just got to get by.
Yes, Donald and Lisa, it has been a long winter.
Very.
It hasn't been brutal as far as overly cold, but because of that, we've had a lot of snow. It's been warm enough to snow.
On a positive note, Donald and Lisa, we last week we finally renewed our passports. Well, we're
Well,
waiting for
in
them to show
process,
up. They were in process. The kids' passports had expired.
Yeah, mine's still good.
Mine was going to expire this summer, so if we ever get a chance to do a little road trip down to Kentucky, then we'll give you guys a heads up.
That would be fun, and it's not as far
No,
away as it sounds.
It's not that far, really. And our kids actually have are big into pen pals.
2 of them have pen pals in
Yeah.
Kentucky.
Yeah, two in Kentucky. The one, our daughter recently got one in Tennessee.
One in Texas.
Yeah, Texas. So that's a little further.
Yeah, one in Georgia, I think.
So John, I never raised them, but I always heard a male and a female paired for life. Okay, yeah, that's kind of what I'm wondering.
Yeah.
So maybe just be one to get rid of, and that's fine. There's one I have my eyes on.
And then we'll know if we like the meat, right? Because we've never tried it.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've actually had a goose. But there's one male that even when before love was in the air, for the last few months, there's one that would always come after us at the fence line.
And you won't make a mistake on that one.
Yeah,
you know
which one it is. He's the biggest one. He was the most aggressive, and now I'm pretty sure there are 2 others that are males as well. So I know which one's going in the roasting pot.
We just have to make sure it's not the one that paired. Right? If they pair off, we have to know which male it paired off with.
All right. I guess we'll wait and see. But
trust me, I don't like that one either.
Yeah. He's just rather aggressive. The other ones have gotten quite a bit more aggressive now too, but with reason. I mean, that even today, I tried to catch it yesterday when I was recording, and today I went out and sure enough, I get into one of those hutches, grabbing the eggs. I turn around, there's a male at the door hissing at me, and the female right beside him. So I think it's going to get more interesting in the next little while. But like I said, I'm only going to collect probably maybe another 4 to 6 eggs, and I'm going to try incubating those, and I'm going to let them build their nests up. And in reality, they'll probably have better luck than I will anyway, as far as hatching the eggs.
Mm-hmm. We just don't want to cut them off too soon.
Yeah, I don't want them right now. Like I said, the other part is I don't want to leave them out there and have them freeze. Our ducks aren't laying yet, though.
Nope.
I'm kind of surprised about that, because usually they are, in the past, ours have laid even during the winter.
But last year they did go on strike for a few months at a time.
It's been a few months now. I think they quit around the same time the chickens did.
Yeah.
So I expect any day to start finding those, and I think the same thing. I'm going to let them hatch their own this year. We'll take some because they're good to eat. I mean, they're great eggs, but I find that they have better luck hatching than we do anyway.
Yeah, well,
it seems like it.
It's nice to have eggs to use, because it seemed like for quite a while there weren't many quail eggs, there weren't many chicken eggs, they were for sale.
I think we corrected that a bit too by adding that light. Like I said, the rabbits are doing better, and the quail all of a sudden went from, laying maybe 10 a day. Now they're probably laying over 40, maybe 50.
Yeah, the light in the building for sure, and the chickens, it's just the sunlight.
Yeah, it's doing it. I let them out today in the Cindy's garden, and she told me that wasn't going to happen much longer.
Well, no. If
I was being scolded.
The ground thaws and I start putting in greens and peas, then yeah.
Yeah. I saw in John's video his chickens were out checking out his garden with him too. But
well, I don't trust our chickens.
What do you mean you don't trust them?
I don't trust them to be out and leave my plants alone.
Oh no, absolutely not.
Wouldn't that be nice if they only ate weeds?
Wasn't that what ducks and that are supposed to be like? But I don't know. Or is it geese that they suggest putting around your orchards because they'll keep the pests down? And we'd have to move all our trees to the front yard.
No loose geese, no.
So we do have even though we're only on the 1 acre, we do have quite a few fruit trees here. We've planted over time. We've got, I don't know, at least half a dozen apple or more, and 4 apricot.
Yeah, and we want to try some peach trees from seed.
Yeah, we've been collecting seeds from my mother-in-law's property to try.
And we'd like to maybe get another plum tree going because some of ours died off on us.
Yeah, yeah, we lost 2 of the apples last year.
Yeah.
And a real bad windstorm just took them right off of the ground.
And they were actually producing, so that was really sad.
It was, yeah.
But we do have other apple trees that are doing well.
Yeah, pear trees, pear and apple do well on the property.
And strawberries. I know it's not a tree, but looking forward to that.
Those are the ones I was trying to remember, John. The Pearl Stars. Yeah, they weren't an option for me to order, but I remember you talking about them. But they're hard to contain. I'm assuming then is that what your issue is going to be? Or some birds are just definitely more.
Yeah, we have one that's hard to contain, but she doesn't do any damage.
No. So guineas are supposed to be really good for your garden, says Robbie. They keep
Yes.
the pests.
Now they're hard to keep contained, right? Guineas, don't they fly away easily?
Yeah, I tried. I went and bought a dozen eggs. I tried to hatch them, and none of them were fertile. So that was a bust for me. But that's the other thing I heard, and I think maybe even John. I think maybe we were talking one time, and they're hard to keep them from wandering off or taking off. We're in Southwestern Ontario.
Yeah, we're near the Michigan border.
Yeah, we're very close to Michigan. As far as crossing over, we can be in the U.S. in about 25-30 minutes.
Yeah, we'd be going into Port Huron.
Yeah. So not far. I think usually if we drive down, we're in Kentucky probably within, I want to say 5 hours, at least the northern part. We can be in, like Nashville or someplace like that in 10 hours. So, Acre Homestead have them and they stay there. Really? Yeah, I bet they do.
Now, I'd be afraid of them going into the trees here because every once in a while we see hawks.
Yeah.
Circling.
Well, the only thing about our trees is most of the trees we have some that are within the property, but most of them are lining up around the property, especially the stuff we've planted for privacy and wind barrier. But I guess it would depend on whether our neighbors appreciated the chance of guineas in their yard. But I mean, if they know anything about ticks, I would think they'd be happy to have them around. But it's tough to say. Dos Acres firmly KNS get out. Yeah, about 28 right now.
I don't think I'm familiar.
No, I have to make a note of that one. I don't think I've heard that one before. But yeah, sometime maybe we'll get our hands on a couple sometime and see how it goes. Wild Home.
Hi.
Thank you for dropping in. I know you guys are quite busy.
Oh, for sure.
Very.
Very, very.
I complain about keeping up on 1 acre. I can't imagine my own island. But yeah, so that's possible. We'll start with the turkeys and see how that goes. Looking forward to it. Actually, I'm almost a little excited about it. Something different. I know Cindy thinks I'm crazy, but
well, I did read that they're friendly, so that's okay.
Yeah, compared to some of the roosters that Cindy does not like. So, although
I'd be happy with anything that's friendly.
Yeah, no, and I get that. It's a lot when they're coming at you. Right now, I feel that way about the geese. They haven't bothered me too much, but
I've been complaining about them for months. So
when it was one,
satisfying.
when it was one going at me, it wasn't so bad. But now that they're coming at me from different angles, it's like,
yeah, I won't even step in there.
Yeah, that's such a unique situation. That's really cool. And I'm not telling you guys something you don't know. The fact that you were able to put yourselves in that and that life. But,
what a story to tell someday.
yeah, very busy time, I bet. I still have to watch your last video because I see you found something on the island that is supposed to be a really good food source. I'm actually quite curious. I just haven't been able to carve the time out just yet. So I'll check that out and find out what it was.
Mm-hmm. Donald and Lisa, yes, we'd love to meet up sometime somewhere.
Yeah. Because we haven't been over for quite a while. It costs us a lot too. Like realistically, for us to take a trip across the border and go someplace with the exchange rate, when you're looking at something for $20 but you're actually paying 30, it gets a little tough. I think last time we went across as a family just for something to do, we went to
Cracker Barrel and
the town. No, I'm drawing a blank.
Frankenmuth,
to the little German town there, and it's a nice outing, but it just costs so much to do anything these days.
Yeah, the big deal for the kids was to go to Cracker Barrel because it has its own gift shop.
Yeah, they enjoy it. Well, I enjoy it too, but if it is really a superfood, thank you so much for watching our journey. We're in Southwestern Ontario.
Yeah, so we are about half an hour from the Michigan border.
Yeah. So
we dip into the states. There are states that are more northern than we are.
There's quite a few that are more north, but we kind of tuck down in there between the lakes.
So we're all friends.
It's funny because last time we went down to, I want to say, Tennessee, we had the Cracker Barrel map out, and we were intentionally hitting Cracker Barrels wherever we could and trying to knock them off. Have you ever had the pasties in Michigan? Ever had the pasties?
What kind of food is that?
Yeah, is it are we talking a pastry or is it?
I imagine that's a name.
I'm not sure. Yeah, it doesn't ring a bell. But
I'd like to know though.
Yeah, because
yeah,
the opportunity's there sometime. Like I said, we just renewed all our passports, well, except for Sydney. Sydney's was the only one that has a couple more years on it. So
now, what was the restaurant you mentioned the other day that you want to try? That you've always wanted to try but never had? It was some burger place.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. It was because I was reading something where I think it was where they were switching to tallow for their fries and things like that instead of seed oils, and I want to say it was Steak and Shake that I had seen. And of all the times I've traveled, I've never stopped at a Steak and Shake, but I always wanted to. If that, and that might sound stupid for anybody that's near one, but it's just kind of one of those things. A trip to.
Yes, it would be quite a trip.
That would be nice,
It would be fun.
It'd be, like I said, I guess really it wouldn't be any further than going to Tennessee, and we've done that multiple times. It's just an area that we love to go and visit. Be a bit like dough-covered, handheld savory pie. Amazing though. Wow. Oh yeah.
That was at Steak and Shake. Okay, well.
The tallow thing was at Steak and Shake. Yeah. That's what I thought. I thought, I mean, I know it's still.
I'll try both now.
It's still fast food, but it's at least they're looking at the trying to make it a healthier way of cooking.
We'll go with that.
Yeah, because we
of course,
we don't
we're not
use
gonna have fries anyway.
We don't use seed oils here, so we don't believe in it. We avoid it the best we can. So
it's actually 5 o'clock.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
It's 5 o'clock here.
We'll hold on for a few minutes because we got started late.
Well, that's fine. I'm just thinking about everyone who has to prepare for the next lives.
Yeah, well, I don't blame anybody that's got to go because it's especially with the weather the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're vegetarian. Okay.
That sounds really
potato,
yummy.
Onion, cheese ones. Huh. Now are they
pasties.
pasties? Oh, okay.
Interesting. And where do you find them? I know you mentioned Michigan, but like
Is this
a certain restaurant or a grocery store type thing?
Wild Home? Is it along the same lines as a pierogi?
Maybe.
It just sounds like something along those lines.
Hello
from
Martel.
Philly. Hi, Martel. Thank you for coming in.
Our
Next project, I think it's going to be another aviary, another covered aviary for our turkeys that we have not got yet. But
yeah, and the raised bed gardens.
yeah, this will be our
Almost
first year
exclusively.
to have. Should be all the raised beds that we need, but I do have to get out there and get some dirt. We've been putting rabbit manure and stuff like that in them because it's a safe manure to use for now to build it up. So we're not paying a lot of money for soil, but we have to go pick up some soil and get that all mixed in. In Michigan, all over the place. No, it's a baked good. Okay.
I'll have to check that out. Keep that in mind.
It sounds fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't had breakfast yet today, as crazy as that sounds. So I'm talking about food is making me kind of hungry.
Yeah, that sounds really good.
So it's not so bad as long as you're busy, right? I don't know about you guys, but as long as you keep doing something.
Yeah, multiple times today
It's like we haven't had breakfast.
We didn't eat yet.
Today, as you guys know, it's the day we do our running arounds, and so it's also the day we schedule live, just because the kids that visit grandma and their uncle, and we grab our groceries and whatever else we haven't been able to get done during the week.
And we went for a coffee date today.
And we had a coffee date. Ooh, and I want a free coffee because it's Tim Hortons coffee. We don't tend to go out and eat, and we don't really go to the coffee shop much, but as a treat for ourselves, just to get out, we went and we sat by their fireplace with their fake fireplace.
Yeah.
With our coffee, and they got the roll up the rim right now, and
yeah, they brought back the actual physical roll up the cup.
And I won. I'm a winner.
You won a coffee. It was better than please play again.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. It was fun.
Yeah, it was a nice treat. But it is closing in on the 1 hour mark, and as much as I'm enjoying all the people being here, we have been throwing all the roll-ups and wind paper throw. Oh no, because you were thinking they were still on the app, right?
Oh no.
That's right, because this year they brought it back. For anybody that is not familiar,
yeah, there are some Tim
because
Hortons
I know
in the
there are
States,
Tim Hortons in the U.S., but they're everywhere in Canada. They're on every corner. And for the last few years, they did away with this roll up the rim, where you actually physically roll up the rim, and they went to the app, where you would have to go on your phone and pretend you're rolling. And like 9 thumbs up. Thanks, Noble. Appreciate that.
Yeah, so people complained because it's no fun to push a button and see please play again.
Mind you, on the other side of this, I think to myself, as far as being sanitary, I would not be the one working at Tim Hortons and somebody's handing me their paper roll up the rim piece that they may have had their mouth on while they drank their coffee, but something to think about.
Okay, gross. I wasn't even thinking about it.
It's just kind of a, I guess if you're working in one of those jobs, you want to have some gloves on because you just don't know. But it's kind of disgusting, I guess. But anyway, that as funny as that's, I know where my head goes.
Well, anyway, it's fun to roll up the real cup.
Yes.
And people complained, so they brought it back.
Yeah, and I have my winner.
Yay.
Sometime on the way to work, I'm going to treat myself to a coffee. But okay, guys, I guess we're not going to hold you up any longer because I really do appreciate such a nice turnout today, and thank you all for supporting us. And we'll try to catch up with as many of you as we can over the next few hours. We're going to hit the road again, obviously, pick up our kids and things like that. But while we're doing that, we'll drop in and try to participate as much as we can. Yeah, lots going on. It was good seeing you too, John. Thank you, yes. Noble. Thank you very much. Wild Home, hey, it's awesome that you guys were able to make the time to drop in as well, because we know you're quite busy. Well, everybody on here is quite busy. And Martel 521, it was very nice to have you jump on the chat. That's
Absolutely.
fantastic.
It's so nice to see new names.
New names,
faces.
it's great. It's great. Yeah. And hopefully next week we'll have better success. I'm gonna have to apologize to the people that were on Rumble, but we'll take this live, and I'll download it and I'll post it on there. But I do feel bad when we post that we're going live on all these platforms, and then it just did not work. So, but it was good to be able to get on here with YouTube and be on with all you guys.
Yes, it worked.
So
That's good.
We'll see you next Sunday, guys.
We
If we
really
don't see you
appreciate
sooner, thank you very much. Bye for now.
Bye, guys.